On paper, India's economic growth is stellar. It's the fastest growing major economy in the world, outpacing heavyweights like China and the United States. In the last decade, India's GDP has quadrupled, lifting millions out of poverty. The success story seems unstoppable, but beneath the headlines, there's a growing concern. India is struggling to create enough jobs for its massive young workforce, and that could overshadow its remarkable growth story. Let me explain. Despite being the world's most populous nation, India is not generating enough jobs. In 2018, the International Labour Organization estimated that India would need 90 million new jobs by 2030 just to keep up with population growth. Yet India's unemployment rate hovers around 8%. The official number, that is, because according to some estimates, it's much higher, especially among the youth. Take the case of Chandan Kumar, a 29-year-old man from Bihar, India's poorest state. Chandan holds a bachelor's degree in commerce. He's been hunting for a stable job for nearly 12 years now. So far, he's had only short-term stints. To make ends meet, Chandan now works as a food delivery rider for Zomato, one of India's largest food delivery platforms. He earns around 20,000 rupees a month, a little over $200. That's barely enough to cover his basic expenses. Chandan is not alone. Over half of India's population is under 30, giving it a demographic edge over aging nations like Japan and Germany. But here's the catch. Youth unemployment for ages 20 to 24 has soared above 42%. That's the highest in Asia and one of the highest in the world. Why? The answer lies in India's educational system. You see, degrees are plentiful, but skills are not. Many colleges operate with outdated curriculums and underqualified teachers. The result? Graduates churn out every year simply don't match industry needs. A 2018 UNESCO report found that only 1 in 4 engineering graduates and 1 in 3 pharmacy graduates were employable. So what happens next? People like Chandan turn to the informal sector for work, which makes up for nearly 90% of India's non-farm employment. Here, people work on farms, in construction, or do other unskilled labor. These jobs keep people busy, but they don't build careers or lift incomes significantly. Worse, this underground economy leaves people vulnerable to exploitation. Workers often face long hours, low wages, and no social security. Now let's look at the numbers. Out of 112 million jobs created in India in the last decade, only about 10% were in the formal sector. That means India's young talent is stuck in a cycle of low-quality work. Now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Unemployment has already reshaped India's politics. In 2024, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's party lost its parliamentary majority, partly due to frustrations over jobs. His promise to boost manufacturing to 25% of GDP by 2022 never materialized. Voters punished his party at the polls. They wanted change, and they got it. Now India has a new government with a new agenda, but the challenges remain the same. So what needs to be done? The government has rolled out measures like manufacturing incentives and a program to train 2 million workers. But critics say these are band-aids, not solutions. They say India needs bold reforms. Some experts suggest simplifying labor laws, reducing red tape for small businesses, strengthening exports, and expanding industrial investment. Others say India should focus on quality over quantity when it comes to jobs. Filling thousands of vacant government jobs itself could make a difference. Just imagine if India had a vibrant middle-class driving domestic consumption, it would be a powerhouse of demand. The fact is, India's dream of becoming a developed economy by 2047 depends on how it tackles this challenge today. Without quality jobs, per capita income stays depressed, inequality grows wider, and the so-called demographic dividend risks turning into a demographic disaster. But India is not alone in this struggle. The world is changing rapidly. As companies shift supply chains away from China, India could be a prime destination. But without fixing its labor market, India risks missing the opportunity to become the world's next manufacturing hub. In the end, this is a story about potential. With the world's youngest population, India could either unleash a wave of innovation and prosperity or watch opportunities slip through its fingers. The stakes aren't just national, they're global. So here's the big question. Will India rise to the challenge of job creation, or will its growth story be remembered as a missed opportunity? If you found this breakdown insightful, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think India needs to do to fix its jobs crisis?